Why are you on my cellular device? Why are you on my cellular device? Hi guys, welcome to the main character segment. Why is it like that? Welcome to the main character segment. The main character segment is just me doing storytellings and stuff like that. Okay, so this one is about how this guy pretended to be my cousin. My cousin is incarcerated right now, and he isn't getting out until like next year in June, I think, sometime around there. A new account popped up and followed me and started liking my pictures. I was like, oh my gosh, you must have made a new account. And so I like messaged him and I was like, hey, cuzzo. He goes, hey. And I'm like, oh, like, you made a new Instagram? And he was like, yeah. Made a new Instagram because I forgot my password. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And so he was like, how are you? Um, I'm like, oh, I'm good. And he's like, hey, do you have any money to send me? Well, this normally would be a red flag, but my cousin, he does do that because he's in jail and he likes to get snacks and stuff. So I'm like, I got $1.70 I could send you. And so he's like, okay, um, that's fine. I'm gonna pay a cop to cash. I'm gonna pay a cop to use his phone. I'm like, okay. He's like, you can just cash up the cop so it can just go towards the payment for me using his phone. I'm like, okay. So that's what I did. I cash up the cop, like the cop, the dollar and 70 cents. And so he's like, okay. And then like moments later, he's like, okay, I got the phone. Like, download WhatsApp or like get WhatsApp or what's your WhatsApp account, something like that. I'm like, oh, okay. So I downloaded it because I didn't have it. And so I started messaging him off there. And the first thing I do is send pictures of myself because when I tried to send pictures of myself before, um, they got denied. And so I was like, I'll just like, since this won't get denied or anything like that, I'll just send it. And it's just like normal photos and stuff. Um, and so he's like, you're so cute, you're so cute. I was like, oh, thank you. I'm like, that's normal. But then he starts saying some weird stuff like, let's start dating. I'm in love with you. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, side eye? You know? So I'm like, sus. I was like, what the hell? And so then I'm like texting him, and he keeps going on that. And so I'm like, this must not be my cousin. Let me just play along. So I started playing along with it. And then I had messaged my cousin, my actual cousin. I was like, hey, like, whenever you get the chance, call me. So that's what he did. And so then I'm like, okay, I'm on the phone with him. And I'm like, did you get my text messages? And he's like, no. I mean, I got the two you sent me. I was like, okay. So then I texted the guy. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm just waiting for you to text back, just texting you. Okay, sir. Okay. So then I'm like, this must not really be my cousin. For real, at this point. Because if I'm on the phone with you and I'm texting you, you're going to be like, oh, on the phone with you. You know what I mean? So then the guy called me because I kept bugging him. I was like, hey, like, when are you gonna call me? When are you gonna call me? When are you gonna FaceTime me? Blah, blah, blah. So the guy called, and this time it was on mute. And I was like, okay, weird. And so then he hung up. And I was like, okay, heavy weird. Then he called again and was like, hey, babe. I said, oh, this is not my cousin. I know my cousin's voice. This is not my cousin. This guy's voice was like higher pitch for sure. My cousin got a deep voice. I know my cousin's voice for sure. His voice hasn't changed since I first met him. So I know his voice. I was like, who is this? And he was like, it's me, babe. And I'm going to like put some screenshots of the messages because I'm not going to obviously say verbatim because I'm not exactly sure at this very second. But it's like it's me. I'm like, I know my cousin's voice. He's he was said something along the lines of like, you haven't seen me for years, and that's the first thing you're gonna say to me. Sir, I do not know you. I don't know you, sir. Why are you on my cellular device? Why are you on my cellular device? Sir. And so, you're not my cousin. He was like, don't you love me? You sent me you sent me money and stuff before. I was like, that's before I knew you're my cousin. It's like, okay, well, bye. I was like, bye. And stop. It's because it's weird as hell. And karma's gonna get you. And then he just started going on about like how he's gonna find me. He's like, when I get out, I'm gonna find you, because he said he was getting out in November. When I asked earlier, when is he getting out? Because my cousin was supposed to get out around November, December, but he's not getting out until next year. And so, but it changed to next year. And so I was like, what? I was like, okay, well, don't make me call your parole officer, because he will not like that, Pookie. And he's like, oh, you really? I said, yes. Like, and he was like, when I find you, I'm going to get that good, basically. I'm a censor. But he basically said he was going to rape me. That's what I'm hearing. I was like, what? I said block. And then I told my cousin about how this person is pretending to be him. He's like, who is he following? And I was like, you're right. Like, who is he following? So I go look, and it's just a bunch of old white men. What in the world? And then I explained the situation to him and like what happened. And he was like, that's so weird. He was like, it's obviously someone that knows that I'm in here and is like trying to get people to send him money. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And so then while that's happening, the guy texts me and started blowing my phone like, sorry, like, the parole officer said he blocked you. And I don't have these screenshots, but I can't remember like what it was sent around. But he was like, yeah, the parole officer saw you and thought you were fine and was trying to get with you. I'm sorry, cuz, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, nigga. I know my cousin's voice. And so then I'm like, I'm on the phone with my actual cousin. Like, what do you mean? Like, he even said, like, that's weird. You're weird. Get off my cellular device. Oh, my leg just died. Okay. We're going to do this in the dark. It's okay. But I'm like, you're weird. Like, bro, get off my phone, you know? And so then he was like, how do you know it's your cousin? Sir, I know my cousin's voice. This is my cousin. Okay? You're not my cousin. Mind you, my cousin isn't my actual cousin. You know how your mom has that friend who they grew up with and they're like sisters? It's like that. And even if I was my mom's actual daughter, he still would not be my actual cousin. So it's one of those things. So that's why I like played along, if that makes sense. But now he's just being weird on my phone. Like, bro, get off my cellular device. Like, I don't want you. Like, boy, please stop. And then I just blocked him. And that's the story. It was really weird. Like, I was like, if he tried to come after me, I'm doing that 3-piece combo. He's about to get pepper sprayed. He's about to get tasered. He's about to get stabbed. Like, I don't know. Like, he in all 3 combo. Don't play with it. But yeah, so that's the story. It's kind of short, but you know, it was a crazy story. And it happened like within an hour or two. I'm just like, you're so weird. Like, why would you do that? So stay away from people like that. And if you are one of those people, stop for a comma, get your ass. Okay? Like, I ain't got nothing else to say. But thank you for like listening to this main character segment. I know the video is posted late. I was at my mom's, so I didn't have any of my equipment with me. And yeah, and hopefully I can get one out next year. Next week. Hopefully I can get one out next week. But that's if I'm not in the hospital. So, all right, guys. I hope you have a nice week. A nice week. I don't know. But But I'll talk to you guys later. I love you guys. Bye. 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 Bye.